Well, it seems the YouTube algorithm likes when I do these types of videos. According to my YouTube studio, 70 to 80% of my audience that watches these throwback reviews come from the recommended page, so it seems to be doing something right. So, with that in mind, let's keep this going. Hey guys, this is the Transformer Gundam, and welcome to the sixth episode of Throwback Review, a series where I take a look back at kits I have built in a... Oh my god, I'm stumbling over my words here.
It's transforming! A Gundam!
Hey guys, this is the Transforming Gundam, and welcome to the sixth episode of Throwback Review, a series where I take a look back at old kits I have built, and as always, these videos are completely unscripted and have minimal to no edits. So, as you can see, on today's episode, we are taking a look at none other than what is, in my opinion, one of the best, most well-designed SD kits out there, the SD Shining Gundam. Now, for a quick background, this kit came out back in 2002, and it had some revolutionary articulation, which I will be sure to get into later. But yes, this kit is absolutely mind-blowing. And just keep that in your mind. This kit is made in 2002. And when I bring out some other SD kits, yeah, I'm just going to say this off the bat. This kit beats all of them out in terms of articulation. And most of the other SD kits that I have built have came out in 2019 or 2020. And this 2002 kit beats them out. Like, that is insane. But anyways, before I start gushing more about the articulation, yeah, let's take a look at the kit itself. So, yes, the Shining Gundam is one of my favorite Gundams of all time, which is also why this is one of my favorite SD kits. But it's also because it is just so well designed. Starting off first with the details, that head sculpt looks so good, of course. It's an SD, and one of the things the SD kits are known for is their amazing face sculpts, just because they make them so big that you have a lot of space that you can work with here. So you get a lot of great detail there, especially in the faceplate, which I did go in with a Gundam marker and line all that out so it stands out a bit more. And yeah, it just looks great, and it's very accurate to how it looks in the anime. Coming down here to the chest, it is very accurate as well, and this is completely color separated by plastic, so there is no decals in the chest. Like, even this green jewel part is a clear green plastic piece, which is awesome to see. Same with the yellow and on the red as well. Now coming down to the waist, there are stickers here for the lining on the side skirts, or sorry, front skirts. But that's easy enough to just go in with a black Gundam line marker if you wanted to just do that yourself. But honestly, these stickers don't look too bad, and they're easy enough to apply there, so I just use them there. Everything else that you see in black is just done by me with a basic Gundam panel lining marker. Now for the ankle guards here, this black is also a sticker, but again, that's just easy enough to go in, and you can paint that yourself. Now the legs are a bit lacking, but that is also just because it's an SD. These should be painted blue and red, but I didn't think it was, that important to really paint it. But I guess if you are, want it to be 100% accurate, you can just do that yourself. Again, it shouldn't be too difficult, but again, it's an SD Gundam leg, so it's not like it's that noticeable anyways. Taking a look here at the back, you get a look at the Corlander, which is pretty nicely detailed, but it is lacking in the paint, so you're gonna have to paint that up yourself if you want that to look good. And here's a look at the back of the head. I don't remember if there was a sticker for the back camera part, or if I just didn't apply it, but you're gonna have to paint that green as well if you want that to look accurate. And yeah, for other stickers, of course, it comes with the eye sticker and the sticker here in the front camera, and of course the stickers in the super mode behind the shoulders, but we'll get more into that later. So yeah, for looks, this looks really good, especially for an SD kit. It's exactly what you would expect the Shiny Gundam to look if it was hit with a shrink ray and super deformed. So yeah, really minimal painting that you're gonna have to do to make this look good out of the box. It has really decent color separation too, especially for an SD kit. And yeah, I'm just really blown away by how this kit looks. So now let's get into the best part of this kit, which is the articulation. So starting off, the head is on a ball joint, so it can go up and down. And one really cool thing is, if you notice, the head can go really far down, but that's because, take a look here at the neck part, it can pop out of the chest, which allows more range of motion going down. So that is really cool. But besides that, it can also rotate a full 360 and can go side to side as well. It's just, as I said, on a basic ball joint. The arms can rotate a full 360 as expected. Go in and out a little bit, or not really too much, but I mean, it's an SD, so you know, can't really expect too much there. The shoulder guard can wiggle around, rotate. It's just on a simple, you can see a peg attached to a little ball joint in there. Maybe you can see that. Maybe, yeah, you can see in there. And now one thing that's amazing for this kit, especially for a 2002 SD kit, is it actually has a elbow joint. Now, mind you, you don't get much range of motion out of that elbow joint, but for an SD kit, this was unheard of, especially for an SD kit that came out pre-2002. This was, I don't know if this is one of the first kits that, or SD kits that had an elbow joint, but I would not be surprised. And there's also rotation here at the polycap. The hands can rotate a full 360, go in and out, side to side. And I want to say the best part of the arm articulation for last. Are you ready for this? This absolutely blew my mind. Check that out. Check that out, that insane butterfly joint. That's crazy. You can bring the whole arm up in front of his face to the other side. That is really, really, really good. Like, not even the master grade can do this. Like, I'm absolutely speechless with how good you can bring the arms forward. And that just really allows for you to get some just absolutely dynamic poses with this kit. And for an SD, yeah, this is just insane. You can like bring his arms forward like this if he had like arms to recreate the crossing arms pose. You can definitely do that, but unfortunately, I said arms, I meant to say hands, but unfortunately it doesn't come with any hands like that, so you can't really recreate that. But still, like, this is insane. I can't get over how good of articulation this forward movement is. Now moving on here, the waist can of course rotate for the full, well, actually it can't rotate a full 360, not with the coriander end anyways, but it is just on a ball joint, so it can rotate, go up and down, side to side. And the front skirts move together, but you could probably separate those if you really wanted to. Now, one thing that's kind of odd about this kit is, as you can see, the legs are attached to the side skirts here. So if you move the side skirts, the legs move with it. But the good thing with that is that you can get some extremely wide stances with this kit. Like, you can basically do the full splits on an SD kit. That is so good. Oh my god. And one thing that fell off earlier was the foot. That likes to happen a lot with this kit, unfortunately. So it's easy enough to just plug in. So yeah, you can see you can do the full splits. That's really good for an SD kit. Now for the forward kick, it's not terrible, all things considered, especially with how small the legs are. And for going back, it's a little bit hindered just because the back skirts unfortunately don't move. And there is a little bit of rotation here. And if you also wanted to, you can move the legs separate from the front skirt here. So yeah, there, with the front skirt not moving, get the legs go out that much, back that much, and let me see, I can get it to go in and out. Not really in and out. The front skirt, that's kind of just for the in and out motion of the legs. Now for the feet, this is insane because it's just on a simple ball joint, but it's so effective. So you can get amazing forward and back motion, side to side, rotation. And then as a ball joint, you get really good ankle pivot there, and that allows the kid to get into some really wide dynamic stances. Like as you can see here, like just check out how dynamic that pose is, and this is just a simple SD, and you can get into poses like this. It took me like 5 seconds. Check that out. That is amazing. Like seriously, it does not get better than this, especially for an SD kit. You can get some like kicking poses. It can stand on one foot. Now I'm going to eat my own words now, aren't I? Come on, I've gotten it to stand on one foot. There you go. As you can see, you can get it standing on one foot, so you can get it to do like kicking poses. There you go, like that. Yeah, there's just so much stuff you can do with just a little amount of joints on such a small body. The articulation is mind-blowing, and to this day, this is probably one of the most just well-articulated SD kits. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything that will beat this, not in a long time anyways. Now for the accessories, first off, let's just start off with the coriander. I've already kind of talked about it a little bit. It just kind of plugs into the back. As you can see, just a big plug there. It's just poly cap. Fortunately, it doesn't transform. It is just one solid piece. But it is nicely detailed. But as I said, you're just going to have to paint this all up if you want it to look nice and accurate. But for me, I just went with some basic panel lining. Let's see, get some light more on it so you can see more detail maybe. Focus. But yeah, as you can see, nicely detailed. You got some nice details up here. And some like backlights that you're gonna have to paint yourself. And on the back here, you can see some of the nice like thruster details and everything like that. Just again, just put a little bit of love, a little bit of paint. You can make this look really good. So there's a look at that, and of course, it just plugs into the peg there. So you just plug that in like so. And for other accessories, one kind of odd thing about this kit is that it doesn't come with any like normal hands. It only comes with different variations of the shining finger hand. Like for example, you get this, I don't really know what to call this hand, but it's just like just a cool like karate style hand, I guess. Like I don't really know what he's doing with his fingers, but it does look cool, like a peace sign or something like that. And of course, you also get the basic shining finger hand there. Nicely detailed, as you can see, and I really do like this translucent green. Looks really nice. Now for other hands, he also comes with a thumbs up hand, which is just a nice expressive hand there. And it's really fitting for the SD line because it's supposed to be more like, I guess, cutesy, I guess. So if you wanted to just have the shining finger giving a good old thumbs up, you can definitely do that. So there you go. Shining Finger or Shining Gundam is happy. And I am happy because this is an excellent kit. But getting into the final accessory is a beam saber holding hand, which this is one solid piece, so you can't remove the beam saber, unfortunately. So that does make painting the beam saber a little bit more difficult. Or, I mean, at least the beam saber handle anyways, because it is just stuck into the hand. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I don't like the little pulse that's in there with the finger or the thumb pointing out there. So yeah, and I like the shape of the actual sword itself. It looks more like a katana rather than just a normal beam saber. And of course, you can just plug this in as well, just to give you more options. And yeah, so some really fun accessories here. Unfortunately, you don't get any normal hands. You just get the yeah, there we go. the basic Shining Finger hand. We get this cool karate style pulse hand, a thumbs up, and the Beam Saber hand. But still, there's plenty you can do with these hands, and then, as I said, I like these more expressive ones like this and the thumbs up. But we're not done yet, because another thing that's amazing about this kit is this is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the first kits that can basically do the full entire super mode without having to replace any parts. Now, like, at least on the master grade and on the high grade version, for the faceplate, you're gonna have to replace that with a open one. Here, you don't have to do that because it opens up just like in the anime. And that by itself is really cool, because as I said, not even the master grade can do this, but the SD can. That's mind-blowing. So yes, those can open up, and of course these can also open up itself. Now, unfortunately, just due to the age of my kits, some of these parts don't like to stay open. Like this part doesn't like to stay open, and over time these kind of do close easily. And one thing that you will run into is, like, when you open up the shoulder parts, for example, these don't like to stay open either, and they will easily rub against the faceplate, which will close the faceplate. So that is a bit of an issue, but again, like, the fact that it can even do basically the full transformation on an SD kit is insane. So, well, yes, of course, these can open, which reveals some of the gold stickers underneath the shoulders there, which look pretty good. Again, if you wanted to, you can just paint those up yourself. But yeah, as you can see on mine, these don't like staying open. Now coming down to the arms, you can just take this. You can see there's two holes. You're going to plug it into this hole right there. So that kind of lifts these parts up a little bit. Unfortunately, there's no like gold thrusters or anything, but I mean, it's an SD, so shouldn't really expect that. So just do that. Do the same thing to the other side. And let's just replace this with the actual Shining Finger hand here. Next, we're going to come down to the legs. We're going to lift this part up, which actually these are already kind of up, but yeah, as you can see, you can move them up and down. And you're going to take the feet, you're going to pull them apart, and you can see there's two holes there. You're going to plug it into this hole, which extends the feet out like so. So just do the same thing to the other side. Extend that out. And we're basically done with the super mode. So let's just see if I can get this to stay open, at least for a little bit. But yeah, you get the idea. Something like this. Get this back into focus. And there you go. Now you have the Shining Gundam in its super mode. And yeah, the only step that it doesn't have is these parts don't lift up to reveal more of the gold thrusters, but that's just due to the limitations of the SD legs. But besides that, it can do the full transformation, and that is amazing, especially for an SD kit, especially for a kit that came back out in 2002. Yeah, I absolutely love this kit. So let's quickly get into some size comparisons, and then we'll get into my final thoughts. So for some quick SD comparisons, here he is with the SD CS Zaku 2. Move this aside so we can bring more kits in. Here is the SD CS 00 Diver Ace. So I'll put him here. And finally, here is the SD, I'm probably going to say this wrong, the Zhao Yun Gundam, if I'm not mistaken. So put him there and see if we can move his other kits to get all of these in shots. And there you go. There is some SD comparisons for you. And yeah, just to quickly show something here, let me just get all of these. So here's the butterfly joint on this kit. So remember that. Here is the butterfly joint on this kit. So even less than that one. Here is the butterfly joints on this kit. And finally, here is the butterfly joints on this kit. You get the idea. This kit blows these kits away in terms of articulation. And this kit came out in 2002. These 3 kits here came out around the range of 2019 to 2020. I'm pretty sure most of these are 2019 kits. And this 2002 kit beats all of them out in terms of articulation. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that these don't have the upgraded CS frames. These have the basic SD frames. So I'm not sure if with the SD CS frames, how much the articulation improves. I know it doesn't have, it does have elbow joints, but this one also has an elbow joint. And I'm sure the range of motion here is probably not as good even with the SD CS frames. So yeah, anyways, that's what I did for a comparison. And let's quickly get into my final thoughts. Oh, wait. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is if you have the Master Grade Shining Gundam, you can actually use the hands from that kit with this kit. And yes, this is actually advertised on the box. So if you wanted to give them just a normal fist, you can plug that in and it fits perfectly into the arm like so. And if you wanted to just give the shining finger from the Master Grade to this kit, you can also do that. And for a quick shining finger comparison, here's the SD version, here's the Master Grade version. They are pretty similar. Even the translucent green is the same. Yeah, it's the same translucent green. It's just this shining finger is just a little bit more detailed and more realistic looking than the SD version, which kind of has like fat fingers. But if you wanted to, you can plug this in like so. And there you go. Now you get even more options for hands if you have the Master Grade version of this kit. And yeah, that's just really cool, and it just really adds to the playability value. So keeping all that in mind, getting to my final thoughts, as I said, this is my favorite SD, and it's for a good reason. The articulation is insane. This is also one of the first kits that can do the full entire super mode transformation without having to replace any parts. And it also comes with a fun amount of accessories. Some expressive hands here, which are really cool, like the thumbs up hand and this hand. And yeah, this is just a really fun kit. Now, you're gonna have to put a little bit of work if you want it to look good, but honestly, it's pretty well color accurate, all things considered. You just have to do a little bit of painting to the backpack and just do some detail work if you don't want to put the stickers on yourself. And yeah, you'll have a really great looking Shining Gundam. So highly recommended. And if you can find this cheap for kit, if you can find this kit for cheap, I would definitely recommend picking it up. So anyways, that's all it for this review. Don't forget to give this video a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And finally, of course, don't forget to join the Discord. I still have the build-off going on right now, but fortunately, I still only have 1 contestant signed up, so we're going to need a lot more than that. Or else I'll either have to postpone the build-off or cancel it entirely, which I definitely don't want to do. So if you're interested in the build-off, go check out my build-off video. I posted a whole video on going over the rules and everything. Or you can just join the Discord, and it has all the rules on there. So I'll have a link to that. And yeah, please join if you're interested in doing a fun build-off. And yeah, I mean, I'm just literally have a prize of $25, $25 USA Gundam Store gift card, and it seems like nobody wants it. So anyways, join the build off if you're interested. Again, you're in no obligation to join. And yeah, I've been talking long enough, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Well, it seems the YouTube algorithm... Fuck.